Friday Talkie. New glasses. I can see. Cool. I was wearing those old glasses for about 7 years, so it was about time I got some new ones. Okay, what am I going to talk about? Ordinarily, I talk about gaming-related stuff, and I save all the non-gaming stuff for my other channel, Benway's World. If you're not familiar with that channel, go subscribe to it already. But I actually haven't got anything game-related to talk about today. Very peculiar, I know. So I'm going to waffle about a couple of things. Actually, no, I've got a couple of tags that I'm going to do, and anything else I can think of to chat about. Firstly, yes, extended time limits. Anyone who has never had a strike from YouTube for copyright or whatever will have found that they're no longer constrained to 15 minutes, which is great. Though I am going to try not to really kind of get into the super mega long videos, because I don't think anyone's got, or a lot of people don't have the attention span to watch something that long. But there are occasions where it will be very useful. But yes, the first tag I'm going to respond to is from Mario Sonic 190. It's a music tag. He's asked 4 questions. First question is, what are your 3 favourite music genres? Do you know what? I don't pay much attention to genres. I watched Tom's video. I hadn't even heard of any of those. I mean, being an old git, the music I'm into is I'm unfamiliar with modern stuff, a lot of it. I had no idea what Tom was talking about, which made it interesting. Okay, so I like 80s, but not just any old 80s. I like 80s futurist. So we're talking primarily Gary Numan, John Foxx, bit of Human League-ish kind of, some, I don't know, the Depeche Mode will come in there, but I like them. Yeah, synth pop really, but the cold, fairly harsh, but not to the point of, say, they call it krautrock. I've forgotten what that band's called. Kraftwerk. Not as far as going into Kraftwerk or anything like that. Yeah, but 80s futurist. I love that kind of thing. Also 80s goth. All you goths out there listening to your Marilyn Manson and I don't know what, with your funny big clumpy boots that look ridiculous. Goths started before all that crap. Sorry, but it did. Goths didn't used to listen to all this black death metal crap rubbish. No, Bauhaus, Sisters of Mercy, that's where it's at. Fields of the Nephilim, if you're up for a laugh. Susie and the Banshees, they're not exactly goth. The Cure, not exactly goth, but you know, that's what we listened to back then. Top quality goth music. A third genre? Yeah, industrial techno, I guess. By that I'm talking about the fairly old stuff. Front 242, Frontline Assembly, 9 Inch Nails. I mean, that's industrial of some sort or other. I don't know exactly what. I've never really paid much attention to specific genre names, but yes, I do like that kind of thing. There was this club that I went to once in London called The Venue. It was somewhere over on the, I can't remember what part of London it was in. New Cross. Yeah, it was kind of a scary place. It's called The Venue. Downstairs there was a concert. Middle floor there was disco. Top floor was a bar where they were playing this industrial techno. And I mean, I didn't know what any of it was they were playing, but I loved it, and the place was just chock full of the most incredible looking people. They looked like they'd bite your head off if you spoke to them. I mean, kind of scary. It was like that scene in The Matrix where Neo goes to the club with the woman with the white rabbit tattoo thing. It was that kind of place. Absolutely fantastic, and all this industrial music. I was in heaven. Okay, question 2. Who are your 5 favourite artists and your 3 favourite tracks by them? Play 20 seconds of each if possible. Okay, I'm not going to play any footage because copyright issues and whatnot. I like having extended play, and I don't want to lose it for getting a strike for copyright. But I am going to link to videos, if I can find them, of relevant songs. 5 favourite artists. Okay, first is David Bowie. I don't even have to think about that. I am a big David Bowie fan. Got masses of his stuff. Yeah, rather than sitting here trying to remember names of songs, though I do know my absolute favourite, all-time favourite song ever by anyone is Ashes to Ashes by David Bowie. I love that. I won't sit and try and remember tracks by each of these, because sometimes I don't actually even know the names of the tracks I'm listening to. So yeah, that's my Bowie, definitely top man for me. Second, well, my number 2 all-time favourite song is Cloudbusting by Kate Bush. So would I put Kate Bush up at number 2? I'm not sure. She's certainly top 5 though. Big, she's actually patchy. When she's good and on form, she is gobsmackingly, stunningly, fantastically brilliant. And when she's not, she's really kind of just a bit too way out there, even for someone with my kind of eclectic tastes. Some of her earlier stuff just didn't do it for me. For me, it was Hounds of Love onwards. Love. Stuff before that, patchy. The Fall. Oh my god, Marquis Smith, what a legend. Though I stopped kind of paying attention to them after a while. I'm looking at my Fall collection here, and it is somewhat enormous, and I think I have more over there as well. Yes, they reached a point after the Friends experiment. They kind of went a little bit wayward. It was after Bricks left, really, was chucked out, whatever. They kind of went in a direction that I didn't really like, and I bought a few of the albums after that. Yeah, quite a few. I think maybe as far as Middle Class Revolt or something. I can't remember. But then I lost interest and stopped buying them. Favourite song by them. See, my favourite album by them is This Nation's Saving Grace. But the first song I ever heard by them is the one that always sticks with me, and that's from their album Bend Sinister, which I love that album. And it's probably their least favourite album, but I love it. The song US 80s 90s, I love that. It's also been 5 favourite. 9 Inch Nails, way right up there, yes. Do you know what, I don't actually know the titles of most of the songs of theirs, but I don't know if I've got all of the albums, I've certainly got a lot. I love the way he'll do an album and then he'll do a remix album. I couldn't even tell you. I mean, I'm quite stuck in the early-ish era, the Downward Spiral and further down the spiral. But then I like that thing that he did after Things Fall Apart, and the remix, or was that the remix album? Anyway, I like that kind of era. But he's actually only done. Well, I don't like With Teeth. I'm not into that album that much. And he did that free one that was like download, and I've got that, and that's not doing a lot for me either. So he's gotten quite patchy recently, but nevertheless, when he's on form, absolutely gobsmackingly awesome. 5th, okay, Gary Numan. Absolutely, staggeringly, awesomely brilliant. Still going. I mean, God, he hit the charts in 79. I think he actually started recording in about 78. And still going. The absolute epitome of futurist. So he's currently, I'm finding him a little bit embarrassing, in that 9 Inch Nails and a lot of other bands, but specifically 9 Inch Nails, will cite Gary Numan as a major influence. And that's cool. Influence is great. You know, to take inspiration from someone, cool. But Gary Numan has basically looked at 9 Inch Nails, thought that sounds really good, and ripped it off wholesale. There's no influence there, it's just straight copy. And I find that a bit embarrassing, and I wish he wouldn't do it. But everything up to, I mean, my favourite album of his is Berserker, which is like where he was in white with blue hair. That was in 1984. But he kind of went a bit wayward after that, got into the whole MIDI thing, and I mean, it was always about technology. I think he moved and I didn't. I kind of stayed put in one place, what I liked. But I always kept buying the records, CDs, whatever, and still do. Awesome. Yes, there will be links for all of those. I'm also going to put in some links to some other stuff, because my taste being extremely eclectic, I like some stuff that I haven't mentioned here, but there are specific songs by bands like Sigur Ros and Dead Can Dance, are just some stunning stuff, and I want to add links. Okay, who are your 3 favourite music groups? circles. I've never heard of them called circles. This has got to be a new thing. To me it's like there are bands and groups. Bands and groups are not necessarily the same thing, because to me a band, they play instruments. Groups, it might just be a bunch of singers, but if that's the case, I'm not interested anyway. Your boy bands, I couldn't give a crap. Okay, U2, though I don't like what they're doing at the moment, I think they stopped. Pop was their last great album. Everything they've done since, not interested. They lost the plot. They used up all of their inspiration, and ever since that I'm like, I don't care. God. Well, The Fall again. Sisters of Mercy. Big Sisters of Mercy fan. I do like that. I mean, they still exist. Well, it's Andrew Eldritch, isn't it? He still exists. Still making music, but has no recording contract apparently. Whether or not he'll ever release anything again, I don't know. He still does concerts here and there. I would have liked to have gone to one of them, but that's never going to happen. 3 favourites? Okay, yeah, that'll do there then. 4. Do you make your own music? Yes. I have about 32 songs on this channel that are actually more easily accessed from my other channel, Ben Way's World. I've got a playlist there. You can hear my stuff. It varies from absolutely appallingly shite that you should probably never listen to some stuff that I actually think is really quite good. And you may have, actually, if you don't frequent my other channel, you probably haven't heard it. But if you go there on occasion, you'll hear me embedding it, you know, using it as a background track. But yes, go there, check it out. I'll put a link to something, playlist. Yeah. What is your favourite era of music? 80s, without a doubt. It's never ever been as good as the. There are two totally different eras or periods within the 80s that I like. 1980 to 1984 were fantastic for futurist. That was like, it was really happening between 80 and 84, and then futurist died out and everything went really crap. You had just rubbish. It all went Phil Collins. It just wasn't happening. It was all Phil Collins and 5 Star and just bubblegum pop rubbish. And then 88 happened, and you had like The Cure, Disintegration, you had the Pixies, and Throwing Muses. I mean, it was indie pop heaven. It was absolutely fantastic. 88, and that kind of carried sort of through into 89ish, and then it just yeah, that was a good year. I will pause here because that I'm not going to tag anyone, but that is my response to a Mario Sonic 190's tag. Pausing for a moment while I check out the other tag, which is by cyanidebreathmintz. Back in a minute. Okay then, I'm back. You'll have guessed. Cyanidebreathmintz has done an open tag. What horror films do you really like that make you laugh? So they may or may not be spoof, but they're as funny as they are scary. Now I've got this here, box of the band, and in it there is, you know, I haven't even watched all of these, and I'm going to have to watch today, I think, the ones that I haven't watched already. There is I Spit on. These are just so bad that they're fantastic. The one that everyone will know is The Evil Dead, 1982, Sam Raimi. I've got Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness as well, which are, I mean, they're more spoofish than this. This is hysterical because it's so bad, where the others are genuinely, like, they're spoofish and funny for that reason. It's got I Spit on Your Grave. I've watched that. That's bad. Zombie Flesh Eaters. That's bad. I haven't watched The Driller Killer yet. There was also Last House on the Left, directed by Wes Craven, and this one here, apparently the distributor was sentenced to jail for releasing an unapproved version. Apparently it's the nastiest of all video nasties. Nightmares in a Damaged Brain, 1981, by Romano Scavolone. I don't know who that is. I suspect I'll find all of these hysterically funny because they're bad. It's when they were made, like 80s. Those are always bad. Okay, well this one, I mean, it Dusk Till Dawn, the first one. I mean, there were sequels, weren't there? I haven't watched them. it's just hysterical, isn't it? You're not meant to take it seriously, and Quentin Tarantino is just absolutely fantastic, as is what's his name? I can't remember. Mexican guy. Yeah, love it. And George Clooney is great in it. I mean, and as is Harvey Keitel, I'm a big Harvey Keitel fan. And Juliette Lewis is always great. So I mean, what more could you ask for? Funny, horror, brilliant. Love it. Yes. Day of the Dead. This was the first George Romero film I ever saw. I wasn't aware of the zombie genre when I went to see this in the cinema. It was a case of I walked into the cinema just because I wanted to watch something. I was on my way home from work or something, or it was a Saturday, something like that. I was like, let's go watch a film, I'm bored, the zombie film, horror film, I'll watch that. Knew nothing about it at the time, and I would have been about 18 at the time. It scared the crap out of me, really freaked me out. I watch it now and I laugh my head off. I just find it hysterically funny because the acting is so bad. I mean, that captain bloke and Bub and the professor bloke with the zombie Bub, hysterical, absolutely love it. I've got a couple of films here that are I hear one of them referred to on a regular basis as a classic. I'm not sure if it should be or not. Demons and its sequel Demons 2. They kind of fall into your zombie genre. They're by Lamberto Bava. It's Italian, I think, or something. They're rubbish. I saw Demons in the cinema when it came out, and I was actually quite impressed by it. I bought these from Poundland, which says something about them. They are really, really bad. They're dubbed. The backing music is appalling. It's 80s, and you've got the worst of 80s fashion in here, and all these supposedly disaffected, alienated teens. Basically a bunch of complete dicks wandering around behaving like twats and then getting killed by demons. Really funny, really bad. Highly recommended if you've got a spare pound. I don't think they're still in Poundland, they were in there at Halloween. Yeah, I like that. That is a really good tag. I'm not tagging anyone specifically, I'm leaving it open. By all means respond to that. Okay, shout out time. Right then, this is ReplayRetro. I would say I just discovered him the other day. No, he found me, subscribed to me, and I went to look at his channel and was extremely impressed. I was particularly pleased to find he'd got a video of Replay, the gaming exhibition thing that I went to and several other people went to quite recently, and that was a very enjoyable watch. He has got, well, it's a very new channel from what I can tell. Yeah, started in October. He's got videos on, the most recent one from 4 days ago is a review of the Vectrex, Justifier and Lethal Enforcers review, Microvision review, Nintendo Scope and Sega Menacer, TurboGrafx 16 system review, 3DO system review, teaser, I guess that's his introduction to the channel. He is currently at 12 subscribers. I strongly recommend checking this channel out. The quality of his videos is excellent, good production values. I thoroughly like his style, and he's very interesting. You know, he's got good subject matter, presents it well. It is just a really good channel, and I tell you what, I really like it when I find channels like right at the start of their, you know, they're just starting out, virtually no one knows them, and I sort of look and think, I want to give them a shout out, give them a leg up, get people to notice them. This is one that I think he may go far. I would like you to check him out. Okay, closing remarks. I'm on Twitter. Yay! I have spent ages where people have been saying, yeah, get yourself on Twitter, it's great, and I've been looking at it and thinking, what the hell for? I don't see the point. I've got a website, I've got a blog, I'm on Facebook. I do YouTube. Why do I need this? Well, I gave in to peer pressure and I am now on there as Steve Benway. There's a surprise, all one word thing, Stephen Benway capitalised. I don't know if that matters, but anyway, you'll find a link for it down there. I'm enjoying it greatly. I'm finding it much more compelling than I thought that I would, and I keep finding new things on there, people worth following and stuff. It's great. So yeah, if you're on Twitter, I'm on there. By all means, I don't know what they call it. Follow me? I don't know. Also, yes, live chat. I am expecting to do live chat again tomorrow. I'm trying very hard to make that a weekly thing on Blog TV. Link down there. I'll do the usual announcement beforehand. Some of you, most of you actually, including myself, last week experienced severe technical problems with Blog TV. Their servers were playing merry hell. I kept falling off of there, as did other people. Streams were glitchy as hell, and I know that quite a few people just gave up and left, and I don't blame one of you for that, because it was infuriating. I will say it did sort itself out. So when I come to do this week's live stream, if you get there early and it's playing up, come back an hour or two later if you're still awake. Because I think it's just server load, and the later it got, the better it got. Myself and probably about 15-20 other people were still there at 7 o'clock in the morning UK time, absolutely out of my face, tired, but it's just such good fun. Yeah, so that'll be live chat most likely tomorrow, starting somewhere between midnight and 2 AM. I will put up an announced video shortly before I go live. Okay, I see how much I can edit this down to. It's probably going to be over the 15 minutes. Yay. Okay, thank you for watching.